Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. I got a question here about how to promote my brand when I get to events. And this is from Gurinder, and he says, hi John, hope your day went well today. So I have a question. How do you promote your brand, or how do I promote my brand, Android Fi, when I go to events? I want to grow my YouTube audience when I go to programming events. As you know, I cannot really go up to a person and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel and a website, can you look at it? My question is, when the other person does not ask me what I do or whether I have a blog or YouTube channel, maybe because I'm just a junior, how do I promote it then? How do I let the other person know that I would like him to check out my content and hopefully follow me regularly so I can grow my audience? I do consistently write and make videos, and I know that my audience will eventually come, but how do I promote my business at events where the other person didn't ask for it? Thanks, Gurinder. So, this is a tough one. So, in general, events are not a good place to promote your brand and to build your audience, and I'll tell you why. One of the biggest reasons why is just because of numbers, right? If you're starting out and you don't have very big of an audience, maybe one-to-one interactions at events could grow your audience to some degree, but that's going to taper off really fast, and it's just not the most effective thing that you can do, right? If you think about it, if you go to an event and you talk to people, maybe how many people you're going to talk to, like maybe 20 or 30 people. That's not a huge amount, because even if you talk to 30 people and you promoted your YouTube or whatever as best as you could, maybe only like a few of them are actually going to follow up and actually become subscribers, right? And some of them aren't going to like your content, right? So you might only pick up like one or two. So it's a wasted effort, right, to do it that way. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do any of this. If you do go to an event and you want to really have any kind of an impact at all, probably the best thing that you can do is to be a speaker at the event, right? If you're a speaker or you're hosting the event or you sponsor the event, now that's different. Now you're gonna have a bigger impact. Maybe there's 1,000 people at the event, and if you're doing the keynote or something like that, and you get 1,000 people that see you speak and you have a slide that says, go to my YouTube channel, maybe 50 of them will. Again, not a huge, right? So this is why I don't really recommend that, even that, right? If you're a consultant and you're going to charge $10,000 a gig and you talk to 1,000 people, it's worth talking, right? Because you're gonna land a few jobs, and that's why so many people get in the professional speaking circuit. So events are not really the best place to grow your audience. They're a better place to network, to meet people that you can talk to, that are going to know people that can help you or mentor you or open up doors for you or have another audience, right? You'd want to go to an event and you'd want to find someone with a similar YouTube audience that maybe you could talk to them, and you could basically like exchange some content maybe, or do a collaboration or something like that that's going to grow your audience. So don't focus on, and I would say also, don't be the person when you go to an event that focuses on self-promotion, right? You need to have sort of an elevator pitch that says, when people ask, what do? You got to answer that. So for a long time, I didn't know that at Simple Programmer. I've been trying out different ones, and I recently went to an event called SumoCon, which was a great event, by the way. I did some videos on that. You can check them out here. But I finally came up with my elevator pitch. When people say, what do you do, John? Now I say, well, I teach programmers how to be cool. And that's great because people ask more questions, right? So if you ask, so when I say that, people say, oh, that's interesting. What does that mean? Right? So now they're actually interested. So then I say, oh, well, what it means is I do personal development for software developers. I teach them how to improve themselves in all areas of their life, right? And so I can go into depth, and depending on the person, I can tailor my answer to them. If they're a programmer, I can talk, from that perspective. But you want to have something like that, an opener that's interesting, that doesn't immediately plug into your thing. You don't want someone to ask you, hey, what do you do? And you say, well, I just started this brand and I have a YouTube channel and it's about Android development, and hey, you should subscribe. That's not going to work out too well. But if you have something interesting to say, and then they ask a follow-up question, then you can get into that. And like I said, that's not necessarily to build your audience. It's to network, to meet the kind of people that are going to be able to connect you, or maybe they have opportunities, and that's really, you know, the value from events. I've gone to a lot of different events, and I can't say that events have grown my audience, but they have connected me with some really cool people, which have given me opportunities, which eventually grew my audience. So anyway, good question. I hope that you keep continuing and doing what you're doing, and you know, it takes time, persistence. You keep blogging, keep making YouTube videos, you know, keep doing what you can, and you'll eventually grow your audience. It just, you gotta stick in it for the long haul here. So anyway, speaking of promoting my YouTube channel, how about this one? How about if you click the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to hear more videos about career advice and everything in the software developer's life, and some things that aren't even in a software developer's life. Just click the subscribe button below, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.